Good afternoon here, YouTube people. What is going on with you all today? I'm just out here having a good old time. And, the other day I wasn't really feeling well, I guess you could say. I've had a cold. And I had a temperature that particular day, and I wasn't really feeling well. And then the guy I told you from my homeless experience came walking up to me and say, "Guess who just passed away?" And I said, "Who?" And then I found out a good friend of mine had passed away since I've been back to the U.S. Anyways, I wanted to get with you all on this subject. A friend of mine had this experience, and I think I have had an experience like that. Well, actually, I know I've had experience like that, but I'd rather use him as an example because he told me about this, and I felt like we were two peas in the same pod, Anyways, he was talking to me about this woman that he had gone out with, and then eventually they became fiancés, and it was getting close and that to marriage with the girl. I personally, I'm thankful that he never did actually get with her because she was not the right person for him. But through all he found out about her, I could see why. And, I wouldn't have done, nearly that myself, Anyhow, I don't know how these women think these days. And I'm not just saying women. I know there are guys out here that are like this as well. But, most of my experience, because I'm not gay, I'm probably the straightest guy you'll ever know. But, the girl that he was going with, she was like sleeping around with other guys, not just one guy, but several. And, I know as being a man, I can't speak as a woman, but I know as being a man, we don't want that type of person. I mean, who would? And if you're a woman, I know you couldn't want that type of person either. I mean, I do bad to just be with two women at the same time. I really don't choose to do that. It's not my lifestyle. People have called me a cheater, but if you're calling me a cheater out of talking, just plain talking with another woman, then fine, I'm a cheater all day long. Because I do talk to other women, not in the manner of trying to hook up with them or anything like that. But I'm friendly to everybody outside, I don't, I don't just walk by a woman and not look at her and say, "Hey, how you doing?" Blah, blah, blah. I guess that comes from when I was young. My mom always said it, I knew it. But she said you were always very shy and reserved, and I didn't want to communicate with other people when I was young. I wasn't afraid of them, but I don't know. I just didn't want to be around a bunch of people, and I didn't want to converse with people. And now I do. I've come way out of my shell, and I don't mind talking to whoever I feel like talking to. If you're a woman and then you become my woman, if you worry about me talking with another woman, then you're not going to be my woman very long. because I can't do that. I can't just shut myself on and on like a light switch, There is a line you have to draw when you have a relationship with a person. I understand that, and I do agree with that. But as long as it doesn't go any farther than that, there is no harm in it. I don't understand that. If I was talking some kind of sexual way towards a woman or something like that, fine. You have all the right to be upset and mad with me. But if I'm not, then why are you mad? And if we're truly not going together, and I do talk a little bit, quote unquote, risque, it's only because we're not truly together. It's not that I went outside of this and that. But that's what I found it very difficult in as far as a long distance relationship was concerned. Because they're there, you're here. And you don't know what they're doing. You can only put trust in them that they won't do something behind you. But in this day and age, 80% of those times they're really doing something, and, it's better that you have them right with you, Not that you could keep an eyeball on them, but it makes them honest, It keeps them straight. And that's all you could do. But, I just don't get people these days. They feel like, oh, well, I'm going to do what I want to do. I'll act this one way towards this person, but then I'll act a different way towards others. And, it actually works against you at times. But, I don't want to deal with that anymore. I've said it before. I don't care to do long distance relationships. It really doesn't help you any. I think it actually hinders you more than it helps you. And, it's just not worth it to me. Some people, they're good with that. Maybe they do trust that person. But, it's not about just trusting them. I just, you want a companion, somebody you can be with, somebody you can do things with, somebody that will always be there with you, by your side, And I would, even if they were soon to be right up on me, I don't know. I think I would feel some kind of way with that too, unless they're showing me that they always want to be with me. But it's not just in words, it's actually doing. But, I'm the type of person that I like to have my downtime, to be alone, You could have that downtime in your house, and the person in the other side of the house, watching TV or whatever. But, even then, as long as they're, they are who they are, have they truly changed? So anyways, to get back to this story, my friend told me about that girl. So one day, he was out. She was supposedly at work, but she called off sick at work. And he was out doing something that he didn't normally do. And he walked into her with this other guy. And boy, was that a big problem. He blew up. I wouldn't blow up, I would turn right back around. I would go home. I would act like I didn't see anything. But when the girl came back to my house and she tried to act a totally different way when she saw me, I would just speak to her, sit her down, have a conversation with her, and end it right there, because there's no point in that. There are so many women out here that will treat you right. And men, I'm not just trying to be, to one gender, but, I'm just speaking because I'm a man, but nevertheless, there are men and women out here that won't go off and do things with other people and not really treat your relationship with respect. And that's what it's all about. But, I have had that situation happen to me also. And I'm sure that most guys do. But I've seen on social media here lately where 90% of all the guys out here that are actually single don't even want to have a relationship because of these things that I'm speaking to you about now. And I'm telling you, if you're a man and you're going to another country to hook up with one of them, know this, they're all the same. They're not going to be different in different countries. I thought the same thing, Oh, well, you have an Asian background, and I've heard that Asians were a lot better than the women here as far as, sticking by their men and being, faithful and this and that. No, it's not true. It's not true. It's, there are faithful women in other countries, yes, but there's also faithful women right here. And if you don't know them personally, it's going to be very difficult. So know this. And then, on top of that, when the girl's hanging out with all these other guys and having sex with them and everything else, they're telling the guys they're with that you were somebody terrible and you're like this and like that. And they try to get them guys to also do badness against you. I've had that happen too. It's just incredible. And people act so innocent. Oh, I didn't do nothing wrong. Oh, I didn't do nothing wrong. Well, I have done wrong. I have spoke about it. I have done wrong in my life. But nothing to that cruelty, I'm not the kind of person that goes after somebody because maybe I'm jealous, maybe I'm malicious towards that person because they dumped me for somebody else and the guy that they dumped me for was not even worth the breath that you could breathe, It doesn't matter to me. You dumped me for somebody, see you later. I mean, there's like so many. There is an app here in my country especially. I don't think it's in other countries. But it's called Plenty of Fish. Yeah, there are plenty of fish in the sea. All you need to do is pull up one good one. There's a lot of good people out here. There's a lot of bad people out here. But you got to know which one is which. That's all it takes. If you know and understand which one is good, which one is not good, then you have it. You're already set. And some people put on that cap, they put shade on it. They act like, oh, well, I'm good, and then they try to act good, and then next thing you know, their real true colors come out. And the mask falls off, and they end up being, what's that guy's name with the mustache? The bad guy, anyways. Whatever you want to call him. The Joker. Whoever they end up being because they were hiding it the whole time. Some people are really good at it too. They'll have you believe, oh yeah, I'm this and I'm that and I'm good and I'm this, but they're not really. They're not. You really wouldn't even want anything to do with them. And you just have to decipher who is who and what is what, and not really worry about much of anything else, But if you can do all of that, hey, you're going to have a good life, a good relationship with the person that you want to be with, and everything's going to be great. Anyways, I want you to know that I love you. I love you right there. Love yourself. Love my Father God. And by all means, love each other, people. Until the next time, love, peace, and soul.